hurricane near the southeast coast by late next week.
The message couldn't be clearer. Get ready for Florence right now.
The chance that this dangerous hurricane now will make a strike on the East Coast is growing more and more likely.
Good Sunday morning to you. Welcome back into Weekend Recharge. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. The forecast trend during the past week has been for Florence's track to increasingly likely take it all the way to the East Coast of the U.S.
There's still a low, but not quite yet zero. Alternate scenario, the center not reaching coast, but that would still produce impacts on shore. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, North Carolina's Governor Roy Cooper will join us live to talk about how his state's preparing for Florence.
Now, throughout the show, we'll also be answering your questions on air about Florence, so to send them in to Facebook or Twitter, use the hashtag Hurricane Questions.
All right, let's get you caught up on what we know.
Right now about Florence, this hour, states of emergency have been declared in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia ahead of this hurricane. The hurricane hunters still flying research missions into Florence. One's out there right now. And ahead of this possible landfall, the U.S. Navy is now preparing to move its ships out of the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. Maria?
All right, Paul, as we get you ready for Sunday to snapshot the big stories, obviously tied to the tropics. So much happening, and it's not just Florence. We have Hurricane Olivia. We're tracking how that will impact Hawaii in the coming days. We have our tropical storm Paul, but along with Florence, we have Isaac and Helene out there. These are storms that are also part of this storm train in the last week or so where you've seen the Atlantic light up. So there's Florence, there's Isaac, there's Helene. We'll be tracking all of those systems. But again, Paul is our focus, of course, right now is Florence, which as of the latest advisory, we're back to a hurricane.
It's back to a hurricane now as well. There's breaking news here. 11 o'clock advisory came out a couple minutes early, and we have it. Looking at the satellite picture, looks like it's looking like an eye. Don't know that for sure yet, but it's looking a lot healthier right now. So now it's been upgraded to a hurricane, 75 miles per hour, Category 1. It's moving west at 6 miles per hour. It's still 750 miles southeast of Bermuda, and Bermuda definitely will have some impacts from this system. At the very least, it'll be increased surf. Huge waves possible here in the Atlantic, impacting cruise traffic as well. So heads up, if you're sensitive on a cruise, you might want to double up on the purchasing the motion sickness medicine before you leave port here in the U.S. And we're still tracking this to move on towards the west and strengthen as we head on to today, tomorrow, becoming a major hurricane as well as we head on towards Tuesday and Wednesday, even Thursday. And the forecast now is for this to weaken before it makes landfall, but hurricanes don't have brakes. They just kind of ease up and kind of coast down. So even though it could be less than a Category 4 at landfall, it could still have Category 4-like impacts as it makes its approach here to not only the South and North Carolina coast, we also have to bring in Virginia, even the Chesapeake, as a potential impact directly from this system. Let's talk more about Hurricane Florence. Check in with Dr. Erica Navarro.
Thank you so much, Paul. Looking very closely at the satellite images of Florence because, of course, we do now have Hurricane Florence back here after it has re-intensified back up to that category. But looking at the satellite imagery, you can see the changes hour to hour with this storm. Right now, you can see there's an eye trying to develop here in the center of that circulation. There's a lot of dense cloud cover, all of that white that you see spiraling around the center. It's hard to tell in the visible imagery, but there is a partially formed eye wall underneath it. It's not complete yet, but this is showing all of those signs of that reorganization. Once the storm is able to form a complete concentric eye wall like so, it will likely continue to rapidly strengthen beyond that. The conditions that it's in are